Hey up guys! So the next film that I'm going to be talking about from the London Film Festival is one that I actually had no intention of reviewing originally, but after watching it and experiencing it, I decided I'm going to share my thoughts on it. It's the latest horror film from rising British director Rob Savage called Dashcam. Like Savage's previous film Host, which was a surprise crossover hit, Dashcam is also another found footage horror set during the COVID pandemic. Bit of a relatable horror. Our protagonist, although is that really the right word? Because I honestly don't know if protagonist is the right word to describe the main character of this film, because typically you root for your protagonist, but the focal character of this film is someone I think most people will despise and will be actively rooting to die. Let's just go with main character. Our main character is real-life freestyle rap vlogger Annie Hardy, although here she's playing a more exaggerated, parodied version of herself. And trust me, she is a character who not everybody is going to like, because she rubs people up the wrong way so easily. She's an obnoxious, anti-vaxxer, anti-masker, COVID-denying Trump supporter who breaks lockdown so she can go on holiday to see her old musician friend in England called Stretch, and he's played by Amar Chadha-Patel. She's the type of abrasive personality that you can only tolerate so much of, so when Stretch reaches his limit, he kicks Annie out of his house and she steals his car, and what follows is the most insane night of Annie's life, and that's all I'm gonna say about the plot. Dashcam is without a doubt the most fun I have had in a cinema since they reopened. It's by no means an intelligent horror. The story is littered with plot holes, conveniences, it's devoid of logic in places and offers little to no explanation on what's actually going on. But it is a horror which knows what it wants to be, which is an entertaining ride, and it's so self-aware that I kind of respect it. I left this film scratching my head. I had about 20 unanswered questions, but I know I had a great time watching it. Watching this film in the cinema reminded me of why I love going to the cinema, especially to see horror films, because it's often the genre which prompts the most visceral responses from people, and it was such a joy watching this surrounded by strangers. Bear in mind, I watched this film at a press and industry screening at the London Film Festival, so I was surrounded by journalists, stuffy journalists, but oh my god, everybody in the screening room was living for this film. The reactions to the violent set pieces in this film was just delightful. The screams, the laughs, the groans, people were losing their shit because the horror in this film is so well executed. I can only imagine what pandemonium will occur at public screenings. But yeah, this is one of those films that you should watch collectively with others. Share the experience with your friends. It's so good. The performances are a hoot. Like I said, Annie Hardy is playing someone who is altogether pretty deplorable, but it is a lot of fun watching this truly awful person go through the ringer, and she's so committed to this asshole persona of hers that I have to praise her performance. Well done to Annie Hardy. Also, there is no rule that says that your protagonist needs to be likable, so it is actually kind of refreshing to see it switched up. She's not a traditional final girl. She might not be likable, but she is great to watch. Also, great supporting performances from Amar Chadha-Patel, Gemma Moore, and Angela Enahoro. Oh my days, Angela. You guys are not ready for Angela. The pacing was also very good, and the runtime was perfect. It didn't feel too short or too long. It's the Goldilocks of horror movies. Also, Rob Savage's direction feels incredible. Kind of like he didn't even need to show up, because it literally just feels like you're watching a vlogger documenting their life. Normally the subgenre of found footage can be a bit tedious to watch, but the live stream slash dashcam really works in the context of this film, and he does a really good job of finding the right moments to inject his scares into the story. Like, there's one scene where they're sitting outside the car and the camera's going back and forth, and I won't say anything else, but the way it's done, it's just like, oh my god, I saw someone leap out of their seat. I've never actually seen that happen at a cinema before. I thought that was just, you know, a term of expression, but yeah, someone actually leapt out of their seat at that moment. It was like, oh! It was an experience. But the downside to found footage is that if you're like me, sometimes you can experience a little bit of motion sickness, particularly in the scenes which are quite frantic and characters are running with the camera and it's just very blurry and fast. And yeah, I had a little bit of motion sickness, but part of me actually thought that that kind of added to the effect of this film, because my stomach was churning for more than one reason, and it wasn't just because of the jolty found footage technique. Some of the set pieces involve a lot of blood and cuts and stuff, and it's just like, oh my god, yeah, some of it is just brutal. But yeah, I can't complain too much about that because it did add to the overall effect of the film. I don't know if that's what Rob Savage was intending, but I tip my hat to him nonetheless. So I was asking 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, this is gonna be a great movie night. Gonna have some friends over, gonna have a right laugh watching this. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Now I know the horror genre isn't for everybody. This is gonna be for the horror fans who love watching a visceral, reactive, bloody horror. Okay, it's for the horror fans, this film. It's a really entertaining, bloody ride. You're gonna have a wicked time watching it. But yeah, if you're not a fan of horror or scares or blood, avoid it, people. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? What Dashcam lacks in story and logic, it more than makes up for in hilarity, jolty thrills, and genuine scares. It's a cinematic experience that I'm never going to forget. In fact, it's something that I'm going to treasure. So I'm going to give Dashcam a score of 7.5 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on Dashcam. Are you excited for this film? Have you seen it? Do you like Rob Savage's other films? Whatever you have to say about Dashcam, let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. If you have enjoyed this video, please do help support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button. For more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe, and if you want to follow me on any of my socials, all those links in that video description down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.